What, in your opinion, are the characteristics that makes the most effective IT leaders or executives?
I think the most effective leaders, certainly that I work with and have had the privilege of being around, are very clear about their vision. They've got a very clear focus, a very clear purpose, and they're able to convey that in a very succinct way, a very effective way of communicating with the people, and being able to touch with those people, so that there's a relatedness in terms of the message and the audience, and they can connect very effectively with them. So I think the ability to understand your audience, to understand context, and to be able to have that clarity of purpose and vision, and to be able to convey that, I think that's a critical aspect of leadership, whether it's IT or whether it's any sort of leadership. I just think it's a critical capability. I think following on that theme of having that vision and having those been able to see the pathway to reach those goals, is every now and again you've actually got to be able to get down into the detail for a short period of time.
Indeed.
So I'm not a great fan of micromanagement or anything like that whatsoever, but what I am a fan of is the ability, or what I admire in great leaders is the ability to have that, the balcony view, to be able to drop down into the detail when required, but then also knowing when to get out of the detail.
Indeed.
Yeah. I had a guy that used to work for me who was he made a great comment to me which has stuck with me for some time, and he said, "Craig," he said, "love working for you, and you're great because you give me that the vision. You're able to look around in terms of the broader context." He said, "But when you go into the detail," he said, "can you get out of it really quick because you get in my way." So yeah, so for me it is about being able to get down into the detail when required, when people are looking for your input or for your help, but also knowing very clearly about when you need to get out and you need to let people get on and do what they do best. So for me, I guess that leads on to the third theme, which is around empowerment.
Yes.
And as I said before, micromanagement, I think, is a style that doesn't work for me. And I think it is about respecting and understanding the strengths of everyone and the roles that they play, and that interconnectedness between those roles, and it's so to empower and then to mobilise, to give them the space to be able to do what they do best.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you you mentioned that a leader needs to have the capability to have that balcony view, but then very quickly get down to the detail and get back up.
Yeah.
I think it plays such a key role, wouldn't you say, in also being able to know just enough in regards to what each member in the team, the course that they're on, so you can navigate them gently back on course.
Yeah.
Should that be required. I think sometimes as leaders we can be so high up in a balcony that we forget to have that view, and it can end up costing organizations quite heavily.
Yeah, yeah. I think just something else I'd like to mention as well is that I see the work that we do as a journey, and the analogy I would use is if you're going to climb a mountain, there's more than one pathway to get to the top.
Indeed.
And I think the role of the leader is to be able to keep that lookout on the vision in terms of where they're going, to be able to understand the risks in the environment, and to be able to ensure you provide a safe environment, but to let the team explore as well.
Absolutely.
So I think it's about them finding their own pathways, finding what works for them to get to that vision. I certainly am not a fan of prescribing a pathway and thou shalt follow that pathway. So
Yes.
I think people will learn and explore as they go, and that just adds more depth and character to the team.
Absolutely, and as leaders you can learn so much from them
Yeah.
in the process.
Oh,
Where does it stop?
maybe. Do I need to make that other point that my view of leadership is that my whole purpose in life is to have a great team around me who are a lot smarter than me.
That's it. That's it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So I love the people that I work with, and I think I've been very privileged. I've had some fantastic teams and fantastic people around me who are just so good at what they do, and I love going to work because I get energised by that. It's
That's
great.
it.
Yeah.
Indeed.